Hold up. Yeah, now we good. Now we good.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Woo! Oh
How you
man. I'm
feeling?
feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. Better than yesterday, because all day yesterday, bro. Like when I say I had nervous energy, you know what I'm saying? My energy all day was nervous. I wasn't
Yes.
sure. I wasn't sure about even just making a left turn on the road. You know what I'm saying? That's how nervous I was. Like, damn, should I do this? Like, I was
Yo,
just nervous, bro. Like, damn.
I
But
was
what?
nervous throughout the game, but let's just go ahead and set it off. You can go ahead and set it off for the boys.
All right. This the MarcWes Sports Podcast. I'm Marcus Benjamin, chilling with my guy, Wes Pierre, aka Westradamus. And welcome to the best sports year in Miami sports history, baby.
Yeah,
Because
yes.
our Miami Heat did the damn thing last night, whooped on those Boston leprechaun little people, and put them in a place in their own house, on their own floor. Went into their house, took their food, snatched it, spit on their dog, you know, didn't wipe our feet. We just damn, like the emotions of that game was crazy, man. It was crazy. The fact that we went in there, everybody doubted us. Everybody always doubts us, but damn sure everyone was doubting us after we lost 3 straight games, especially after that heartbreaking loss in game
Yes.
6. Nobody was counting on us to win. But I believe, as nervous as I was yesterday, I didn't wear this hat, but I did wear my Heat hat all day. Because actually I did wear this Heat hat for the game, but all day I was wearing a different one. I was wearing this one actually. You know what I'm saying? So I was still believe, because it's Heat culture, baby. You know what I'm saying? And they got lucky in that last game.
Yep, they
They
did.
got lucky in that last game, and we didn't even play well. We didn't even play well, and we almost snatched that victory from them. And I can't say enough about Jimmy Butler, man. For Jimmy Butler to be as confident as he has been, saying, for one, last year he said, okay, we're going to be right back in this spot again, and we're going to get it done. And lo
Yes.
and behold, here we are. We got it done. And even before this game, he was like, this is basically not us. We're going to win. You know what I'm saying? He did say that the game before, and they almost won. But he said it again. He's not afraid, and he's confident. And something I got to say is that is what Spo said after the championship win, and it kind of hit hard for me, man. Which is sometimes you got to suffer to get what you want. And
Yep.
it became like a life moment all of a sudden, because as much as this country hates the Miami Heat, you can't help but to love this story. You can't but help to love the Miami Heat in this moment, because they lost the first play-in game. They were down, I think, in the fourth quarter to Chicago,
Yep.
and were about to be eliminated. They come back and win that. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the number 1 seed, in 5 games. We make easy work of New York, probably a little bit more games than we anticipated. And then we go up 3-0 on the Boston Celtics. At that point, I was just like, okay, well, Heat culture is a real thing. It's not like I never believed it before, but the world now notices it. The world knows it. And, for anybody that's going out there, going through some and feel like, hey, things are or slim, just think about this year's Miami Heat, man, because apparently we ain't got talent. Apparently we got a bunch of undrafted bums on the team that can't play basketball. But that's not the truth. What the real truth is that we got dogs. We got dogs. We got guys who were counted out, gone through adversity. Wasn't a draft pick, wasn't a highly touted athlete coming out of college or wherever, or the G League or whatnot. And look where they are now. look where the Heat are now. I mean, that's just to set the stage. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say, my boy.
Yo, man, like you were saying previously, man. Like, yo, all Monday, Memorial Day, is supposed to be a day where you're having barbecue, having nothing but lick,
Yeah.
and enjoying your time with your family. And the whole day, I was thinking about the game. I was nervous as fuck. I did not watch ESPN because, of course, they do not give us the credit because of the beaches, the women, and the weather. Now, I'm just like, these motherfuckers gonna make me feel more into a slump. So I need to just chill, enjoy the day with the family, and then get into the game, because I remember how I felt Saturday night, game 6, where I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 5. Like every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I would wake up thinking that it's time to wake up. 1:45, 2:15, 3 o'clock. Eventually, I just said at 5 o'clock, man, I'm just gonna wake up and I'm just gonna go ahead and work out early. Gave Tyson his walk. But yeah, man, the Miami Heat, the big dogs with the heavy nuts, man, they proved all the haters that we are who you thought we were. And that was the culture. That was real cohesiveness by all of the team as a collective. Because like what you said last year, Jimmy Bucket said, yo, the difference is next year we're going to be in the same spot, but the only difference is we're going to get it done this time. Absolutely right, and he got it done. I kind of was feeling some type of way because in the beginning of the game, I mean, we was missing a whole bunch of shots. We acting funny like we don't want this. But then when I seen that it still was 9-5 or 9-4, and it's supposed to be like 15-4 or 20-4, I knew it was our time. Y'all caught us y'all got us in this mode, because we've been playing like this all year. Nobody's been giving us a shot. I've been thinking lately, like, was they playing like this all year so people won't talk about us? Were they trying this all year so they can have their backs against the wall and know how it feels? Not one game, not 10 games, not 15, 20, 30 games, all season to get this shit right. So when we make it to the damn playoffs, even we could be up 3-0 and then lose 3, and still get it done. And it was not just Jimmy Buckets. It was not Jim VP. It was the collective. It was the family. It was the kennel, like Adebayo say, the big dog. It was the dogs doing their thing. You feel me? And I knew it was over once he twisted his ankle. When he twisted his ankle, I felt like God, the basketball gods are speaking.
Shine upon us.
Exactly, because last year, Jimmy Buckets was injured. Hero was injured. Kyle Lowry injured. Everybody and we had Oladipo, he was coming off injury. So we was not even 100% back then. And it was like, oh, yeah, we won, but they didn't say nothing about the injury. So now y'all bitch ass niggas can't say nothing about Tatum and his ankle, because Jimmy Buckets, his ankle got injured again that game. You feel me?
But they ain't saying nothing about that though today. I don't know if you watched anything today. They ain't saying nothing about how Jimmy's ankle was retwisted too. Like, okay.
Yes. How many times this guy gonna twist his ankle? He done twisted his ankle about 3 or 4 times this whole playoffs. And what did he do? He persevered. You know why? Because what he say, I'm gonna ride with my big dogs till the wheels fall off, man. These my day ones, man. You feel me? We know y'all don't like us. We don't care what the narrative say. We don't care if y'all want us to win, because even though y'all talk on positive or negative about us, it doesn't matter in this damn building, man. This culture that we got over here, y'all can talk trash on social media, on ESPN. Y'all don't even need to talk to us. Y'all don't need to talk about us. It don't matter, because they know the MarcWes Sports Podcast. They know Miami Dolphins. They know the Panthers. Oh, we're gonna speak about them too, because that's another Cinderella story. But everybody over here are rooting for the home team. You got Mike McDaniels there, you got Ramsey there, you got everybody from the Dolphins over there, vice versa. You go to the Panthers game, you got UD hitting the drum, you got McDaniels doing the drum. Everybody, like, we know that they hate us, man. We got to make sure that everybody
football team, the whole Hurricanes football team was there too for the last home game.
You see, Diddy was there with his little bop, Young Miami. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was in the building, but we didn't get it done at the crib. But it doesn't matter. You know why? Because what is better? What is better to wear this jersey, the black one? Funeral. We took it to Boston, and it was a funeral in Boston because the whole damn crowd quiet. You can hear crickets. You feel me? And you see everybody, all them fans in the end.
Robinson was like, "Wait, what yell?"
He picked the he done pulled the Hulkster. He done pulled Hulk Hogan. Yes, this is what we talking about, man. You feel me? We were playing possum. Y'all don't even trick us. I remember when we did an episode on the MarcWes Sport Podcast, and me, Westradamus, the loyal Heat #1, was like, it's not even worth speaking about them right now. And look at me over here now, over here with the bravado, with the big heavy, you feel me? That's what I'm talking about. It's Heat Nation to the death of us, man. It's Kings County to the death of us. It's the Tua, the arm of the almighty Tua, to the death of us, man. So again, at the end of the day, man, look, it's just loyalty over here. We didn't do the podcast about the New York Knicks and the delusional New York Knicks fans. You feel me? Because of course we have a new member to the family. You feel me? With Christian, the producer. So we got to be family orientated, and we got to do this as a team. So we didn't have no podcast for them, but y'all still trash New York. You feel me? Y'all still got them big ass rats, New York. Boston, same shit. Racist ass Boston. I seen the old school clips of Boston, how y'all cheat, and here we go. Wes and Marcus was right again about the referees. Now you got referees with burner accounts under investigation. What's going on? You got referees, that same referee, the one under investigation when Jimmy Buckets made that basket. He was the one like this. You feel me? Yes. Get out of here. Kick rocks. I don't care if you don't have no job no more. Go to what? Go to high school, because college don't even want your ass. And that's what I got to say right now.
I love it, man. I love it, man, because, man, I'm so glad we're on the right side of history, bro. Like, I'm just going to paint the picture of every Heat fan's psyche from Game 6 to the end of Game 7. When that Game 6 was happening, oh, my God, I know everybody was cursing their ass off.
Because they cheated.
Jimmy Butler, not himself. He was not Jimmy Buckets until the very, very end, where he hit some clutch free throws, first to draw the foul and then to hit those free throws. But there was so many moments in that game that just made you want to rip your hair out. And the refs contributed to that game. Some crazy calls. The one with Bam,
giving them extra time,
giving them extra points, and then they were giving. They said there was no foul, and then it was a foul on Jaylen Brown. I was like, I don't know what was going on in that game. It was crazy. It was like a really bad dream, a bad nightmare. I literally woke up that next day and hoped it was a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? I was like, please tell me that was a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at my phone, and then I was like, damn, that shit happened. And I knew. Here's how you can tell, like, we was all shook by it. We didn't text each other at all. You notice that? We didn't text each other at all after Game 6. You know what I'm saying? Because, that silence on that group chat, basically said everything that you needed to know, because we was all hurt, man. And I was just like, wow, this game could go down as one of the worst games in the history of Miami sports. It could be up there with Miami, Ohio State. It could be up there with 62-7 Jacksonville. Dolphins in Jacksonville. It could go be up there with the Hurricanes in 91 when they were undefeated and they were going for back to back and they got blown out by Alabama.
What about before our first ring when Wade got injured? You feel me? And we were supposed to have 2 rings. The first one that first year when Shaq came, got injured, and then the second year we got it. That was like devastating. That when he got injured and broke his ribs, devastating, kid. Devastating.
Yeah. And then of course the first year with the big 3 was devastating too. And we didn't win. So, there's countless. I mean, the Panthers, you go on and on. Marlins, you go on and on because, they just haven't been to that point yet. We don't get to the Panthers in a minute. But, like, to get to this game, I already told you how. Like, Sunday, I just kind of blinked out. I was just like, you know what? Let me just vibe out, chill with the family. I went to my sister at barbecue, chilling, vibing. Anybody who asked me about the game, I told them I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I do not want to talk about that game because it was that bad of a loss. But I started to gain confidence though, like on Monday. I'm just like, hold up, man, because I saw how confident Spo was, and how confident even I think it was Duncan Robinson or Strew, somebody. They were, and Jimmy Butler, of course, they were all confident. They were like, oh, I think it was Duncan Robinson. I think he was like, oh, I wish we just could tip the ball right now. Right after the game was over. Spo was like, oh, we built for these moments. And Jimmy was like, oh, we're going to win. I'm just like, I think we could pull this off, And then when I saw the injury, I was like, wow, just like you said, I was like, damn, the basketball gods is really shining on us, right? And it's everybody to me, if we could just break down the game, everybody to me was like in rhythm. Even though Jimmy Butler was missing some shots, I still felt like they were rhythm shots, I felt like there were shots that, they were right there, like just bouncing off the rim or in and out, you know what I'm saying? Except for your boy though, bro. Except for your boy Bam was the only guy who was not in rhythm. You could just tell he was just not in rhythm. There was that time where he had the ball and then Marcus Smart flopped, right? And he was wide open for an easy jumper. And he passed it. I was just like, yo, something's wrong with Bam right now because he's the only one not knowing what to do, not playing in the rhythm of the game. I thought Lowry played pretty well. I thought Duncan Robinson played pretty well. They weren't doing too much, but when it was their moment, they took advantage of the moment. And I must give a shout out to our boy Caleb Martin. I gotta shout out Caleb Martin. I tweeted this out. I don't know if you saw it, but I said Caleb Martin earned that bag tonight.
Yeah. I don't want him to earn that much bag. Don't earn too much. I don't need him earning too much because I need you to stay here, man.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I know. He earned not only a bag, but he earned his place in Miami Heat history and future. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to let him go. He's a valuable commodity, a 3-and-D type of guy that can also take it to the hole if needed. And he just got that dog mentality. He's not afraid of the moment. When he was there making fadeaways, bro, like that's when you on. I know everybody's played basketball before, but when you making the fadeaway, that's when you know
from under the basket. After going from under the, I know exactly what you're talking about when you say it.
That's when you know you're in the zone. I was like, oh, okay, this guy's in the zone. You know what you're gonna get from Jimmy. Jimmy's always gonna give you what Jimmy gives you. But the fact that Caleb Martin dropped 26 in this game, game 7, in front of all of them Boston motherfuckers, making them just silent. I mean, sometimes they would get all hyped up, and then we would make a big shot, and I'd be like, sit down, be humble, be quiet. It's not your time. Not when the Heat's on the court. One of the best wins in Heat history, bro. Like, it was one of the best wins in Heat history. Another great thing I want to talk about is just how they was acting, except for Bam, because Bam is, I don't know, sometimes he's just not on the same wavelength as the other team. They wasn't really that excited about it.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
because the job ain't
Yeah.
done.
They weren't that excited about it because that's exactly right, Wes. The job ain't done. You know, they gave the Eastern Conference trophy to Bam. Of course, Bam took it, and Bam was trying to give it to Jimmy, and Jimmy was like, he didn't even say nothing. He just
Oh,
shook his head.
He said, I'll get the next one. I'll raise the
Yeah,
next one.
yeah. I was gonna get to that. He was gonna shake. He shook his head first. He didn't say no, but he was like, "I'll hold the next one." You know what I'm saying? I'll hold the next one, which is something I love to hear, and gives me even more confidence going into the finals. Oh, and you got to talk about how you bank too, because I bank too. You know what I'm saying?
How much you done hit for?
I didn't hit for that much, but it was like,
Oh yeah,
I
you
think.
did.
Yeah, I just bet for them to win the Eastern Conference, and this was like when it was in the Knicks series, so I got it at a good rate. So it ended up being like $2 or whatnot because I didn't put that much money, but now, and I also bet on them to win the NBA championship. I feel like I should put more money on it, Wes. I don't know about you.
Figure out, didn't you bet that they were gonna win the championship in the beginning of the seasons or something like that?
Nah.
You normally do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah. I didn't do that for the Heat. I didn't. I should have. There was a time, bro. There was a time during these playoffs where if you bet $100 on the Heat to win the championship, it was gonna be a stack, bro. It was gonna be a stack, man. And I'm regretting that shit right now because now those odds are dead and gone. But to my point, I feel like they got a legitimate shot to win this championship, man. Because
of course we do.
Right when this game ended, they put up the team side by side, the Heat and Denver, and they put what the two teams have done recently. And in my mind, partially was what pushed the Heat over the Celtics again, and I think over all of these teams in these playoffs is experience. Defense. That playoff experience, which and NBA Finals experience. Remember, this team, basically this entire team, aside from I think
Kyle Lowry.
Crowder's probably the only player that's not on this team, that is on this team, but we got Caleb Martin, who's basically the same player or even better.
And then Dragic is not here. Kyle Lowry, I think Dragic could have been a better, fit right now because Kyle Lowry, he's an NBA champion and he's been here, and of course he's a good manager of the team when the second unit come out. But Dragic, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I wish Dragic was on the team so he could grab one with your boys. You feel me? The Dragon.
Yeah, me too, man. But
he chose the wrong person. I don't feel too sorry because where his ass at, he went to Milwaukee. He chose the wrong motherfuckers to come back to. So it's on him.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, man, like this, and so I do feel like they're gonna win it. They have a really good shot to win this championship because top to bottom, when you say talent. People say, oh, Boston was a better team. Milwaukee was a better team. I don't think they were saying top to bottom talent. No, they were saying top to bottom. New York was even talented, more talented than the Heat, which that one I disagree with. But on paper, you could say, okay, yeah, Boston more talented, Milwaukee more talented, but they don't got that dog in them, man. They don't got that heart. They don't got that Heat culture. You know what I'm saying? They don't got Spo. They don't got Jimmy Buckets, who wants this more than anything. And I want it more for Jimmy Buckets more than anything right now, too, because for me right now, Wes, I think he's my favorite Heat player of all time, which is saying a lot, right? It's saying a lot, but I need him to win a ring, though. I need him to win this ring, That's when he is in that conversation for every Heat fan as far as being the best Heat player of all time. A lot of people going to say stay loyal to Wade, or they're going to say just because of pure talent, it's LeBron. Or if you're old school, they may say Alonzo Mourning because he was there for those 90s years, and then he ended up helping the team win their first championship in 2006. But as far as just carrying this team, with the minimal star power that he has, it's one of the best performances I could say even in Miami sports history.
I think he's. I'm thinking about it right now because as you were speaking, I'm like, is he the best Heat player?
He has to win
franchise.
a ring. He has to win
Franchise
a ring.
history. Um, I think I ain't gonna lie though. You feel me? Like he reminds me a lot like Wade, just without the new tendencies that Wade have nowadays that he's with Gabrielle. Don't need to go into that. You feel me? Everybody kind of know what we're talking about. But he's Wade 2.0, to be honest with you, because if you really want to be technical about it, like they have the same game. Who would you say have a better defense, Wade or Jimmy Buckets? Because I think Jimmy Butler got a better defense than Wade. A lot of time Wade, he be crying a lot. You feel me? Like he don't get a call his way to stand the other, and then rather than running with the defense to recover on defense, he'll be on the other side of the court and he'll be crying.
To me, it's close. I would probably give it to Jimmy Butler as well, but the things that you gotta take into account with Wade is that I believe he leads in history at the 2 guard position in blocks. So I think he's better at like contesting shots, but I think Jimmy Butler is better at just man-to-man defense and getting steals.
Yeah, definitely. So me personally, like I gotta really think about that one. I'll probably give you a better answer sometime during the podcast, or probably even off the air. But I think this will probably be the best championship in Heat history because we got a whole bunch of no-name players. Supposedly, we got Jimmy Butler. People don't even consider a superstar. You feel me? They consider him an all-star. They don't consider him a superstar. Bam Adebayo, even though he's an all-star on paper. You really want to think that it's kind of off.
You said Jimmy Butler. What'd you say about Jimmy Butler?
They say they don't think Jimmy Butler is a superstar. They think he's an all-star.
Jimmy
like
Butler is a superstar now.
I think of course, we know, of course. Like they're how many times that he don't make the all-star? He didn't make all-star this year. Why? And he was supposed to. Why? Because they're gonna say, oh, regular season, he's injured, he missed a whole bunch of games, this, that, and the other. But me personally, at the end of the day, like when it comes to him, he's just Miami. He's Miami through and through. And I think
the world recognizing now though.
They recognize it now, but how much do they really recognize? They was giving us 3% chance to win with Jimmy Buckets, Jim VP on the team. Like, come on, at least give him some more respect. You know what I'm saying? Then right now, I think with Denver right now, I think they said we have an 11% chance of winning, which is fine, perfectly fine. Of course, we already know the beaches, the women, the weather. Now it's the Panthers. Now it's the Heat. So we know why y'all hating us. Y'all have nothing else to do. Y'all on vacation right now, and we had beautiful weather yesterday. I mean, like you could go out Memorial Day, perfect. It was like in mid 80s again at this particular time. Over there where you guys are at in your other cities and other states, I don't know if it's cold. I don't know if it's raining. I don't know if you have anything to do because, again, we have everything here. We have the beach that we don't go to. We have the swimming pools right outside. We don't jump in. These are highlights of your life. So we know why you guys hate us. Y'all want us to be like, damn, we're at the crib right now. And since we have nothing else, meaning your city, we should be the ones in playoffs. We should be the cities that still have stuff to do because when we're out, we have nothing to do. The economy that we have is trash now. You remember what they said about Cleveland when LeBron left? The economy collapsed because people don't want to go to the bar no more. Shut the fuck up. You feel me? Just creating bullshit. Me personally, when it comes to this particular team, I think this would be the best team because, again, you have no all-stars. Secondly, if you want to think about it, you got the first one. We had Shaq. We had Alonzo Mourning. We had Antoine Walker. We had the Glove and Gary Payton. We had what's his name? Damn, I forgot his name. Shane Battier. We had a plethora of different
Hall of Fame. On that team. Shane Battier wasn't on, but Mike Miller was.
Mike Miller was on that one. You feel me?
Remember James Posey?
Posey, Tippy Toe again, Antoine Walker.
I think Doliak might have been on that team.
Was Doliak on the team? He probably got traded.
James Jones was on the team.
James Jones on the team. You feel me? And you seen how successful he's been as a general manager in Phoenix. But again, like we had that team. Then you got the one with the big three with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, like the Hall of Famers. And then we have a supporting cast, like you say, Mike Miller and everyone else. Like, who does he have, Jimmy? Jimmy has Gabe Vincent, G League. Who did he have? He has Bam Adebayo. He shows up here and there. He has Kyle Lowry, been getting paid $30 million, barely plays. When he does play, you coming with the second unit, and if you coming with the second unit, your ass need to be getting paid like $10 million. You need to be getting paid like when UD getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So we got a guy in Jimmy Buckets that's playing with a whole bunch of guys that people don't consider is talented. We know they're talented because we see them all the time. But still, for him to do, if he was to accomplish this, beat the reigning, the defending defensive player of the year and MVP in when it comes to what's his name, Giannis. Then you have Brook Lopez. I think Brook Lopez was the defender of the year. And then we go to Boston. You got Marcus Smart. He was a defensive player of the year. You got both their stars. Well, I don't know if they're stars right now. You feel me? And I don't know if they're going to stay together in Boston, and Tatum and Brown. But you got two supposedly superstars, you feel me, or all-stars on your team, and we handled them. And then we have the upcoming New York Knicks. People didn't see their ass in years doing shit. Brunson, you feel me, running the mud. I mean, he was doing his thing, boy. You feel me? I think Brunson, if he had more talent around him, he would have gave us a little bit more run for our money. But again, that's what I'm saying. For us to do this to them, and then we're going to go and destroy the Joker, that's exactly what you are. You're a Joker, and Batman going to come and beat that ass the way he always do in comic books.
Oh, yeah. The Butler gonna do it. The Butler gonna do it, man. Because I mean, there's so much to really kind of say about this team, because not only did they go through the adversity, losing Tyler Hero. Let's not forget that they lost Tyler Hero and Oladipo. But here's the question I got for you though, Wes, about that, in particular. Is, do you think this is a better team without Hero? And that's why we made this run? Because Hero was pretty much playing for the majority of the season, and you saw where he was. We was a 7th seed. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, you take Hero out of the equation. Sometimes he's kind of a volume shooter, needs the ball in his hands. Sometimes he turns the ball over, but sometimes he gets hot. He's made big shots, made game-winning shots this season. But he has a chance to actually come back in the finals, which I think is great as long as he's coming off the bench, to provide some scoring, be in that rotation with like Strus and Duncan Robinson. Just have a rotation of those guys, because one of those three guys are going to get hot from three.
Definitely.
But do you think this team better without Tyler Hero?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you're talking about with the starting lineup, you know what I'm saying? If you're talking about the starting lineup, I think we're a better team without Tyler Hero in the starting lineup. Why? Because his defense is not as great. I mean, Duncan Robinson, he showed us recently that his defense got a little better, at least in this round. But again, when you have people like that scores in bunches and stuff like that, and their whole career hasn't been defense orientated. I mean, you could try, you could get better, but if that's not your first go-to is the defense, like Jimmy Buckets when he came into the league with Chicago, his whole base was defense. You feel me? Being with Tom Thibodeau and stuff like that. But again, when it comes to Tyler Hero, yeah, we're gonna get that volume shooter. We're gonna get that volume shooter that's a lot more accurate than most individuals on the team. I think he supposedly have a better shot than Gabe, Strus, and anyone else on the Miami Heat as far as with the guards. But if he could come back and be on the bench like the sixth man that he was, then I think it would be great. But if you put him in the starting lineup, that's just going to be a problem when it comes to the defense. And I think for both teams, when it comes to Denver and Miami, I think the best bet would to be what you say is have him come off the bench as a sixth man. You know, you're going to give us that individual that's coming off the bench with Kyle Lowry, another guy that's proven that he's a champion. He got a ring. Of course, I don't really like talking a lot of positive things about Kyle Lowry because a lot of times he make me, like try to pull out my dreads because he be breaking, flopping, doing all type of shit that we don't like in Miami because Miami is not no flopping team. He's the only one that really flops like that. I don't like that, even though sometimes it gets us to win. But I think that if we would trade him in the offseason, it wouldn't be a bad thing, if that's what I'm saying. But I think that him coming on the team right now during this time, I think that it'll be a positive thing because remember last year he wasn't in the playoffs when we played Boston. Why? Because he got injured. And again, another year you get paid. We gave you that money. Availability is the best ability with Marcus. So you're not in the playoffs. And imagine us winning a championship and you can't play a game. Imagine us getting eliminated from the finals and losing and he's not playing again. They're going to trade him if that's the case because they're going to be like, damn, we got this far without your ass. We don't need you. But for me, I would kind of keep him, I would keep him, get rid of Kyle Lowry because the $30 million, can you do?
Nah, you got to get rid of Kyle. You got to rid of Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero. You got to get rid of both of them.
Do you still feel the same way about Duncan Robinson?
See that I was talking to my homeboy about this the other day because I'm not sure about Duncan Robinson because let's be honest, man. Like he kept us in that game in Game 6.
That's what I'm saying.
Although he missed a couple of shots that would have won the game
wide open.
You know what I'm saying? Especially that one where he took the dribble. I'm just like, yo, this is going down. But he didn't hit that. But still, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even be in the game. So I think if they could restructure his contract, that would be the best bet. You know what I'm saying? If you could keep him and because he's already made his money, I don't think he's going to get another big contract like that, and I know he wants to stay. And
UD is showing them perfect loyalty. UD is on the team, been on the team, been in, I guess, the league for like 20 years, supposedly. This is his 20th year, you know what I'm saying? And he's still getting paid. He's still with the organization. I think they're probably going to make him be part of the organization somehow. He's showing these players it's not all about money, man. It's loyalty. They were loyal to me. I could have went to, I think what he said, he could have went to Memphis or he could have went to one other organization and he chose to take less to stay with Miami. And what did that do him? What did that do for Tom Brady taking less? It got him rings. Same like over here. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Duncan Robinson, definitely could restructure that contract, could be like, yo, he already showed us before the contract, I want to stay in Miami. I like it over here. He gave us a friendlier deal to stay over here too, just like UD. But again, like you said, he already got paid. Look, restructure that contract. You could be this team for multiple years. Again, you don't think that he's going to get another big contract. I don't. You feel me? And I think for this, the way our organization is ran, I think that it'll be a better fit if these people stay in Miami because I remember the Tyler Johnsons. You feel me? I remember these individuals that was doing great over here, but when they went to Brooklyn, have you heard about him? He's out of the league. Yeah, you got that money that you wanted, but you're out of the league now. And look at UD, he's still here. So all your other Heat players that got these contracts coming up in the near future, like Duncan Robinson, since we're speaking about you, come on, restructure that contract. Listen to Marcus, man. We need you over here. You feel me? Especially if you're gonna be driving the ball and you doing shit that I haven't seen. You driving the ball. You
now that cutting to the basket, getting those layups, man.
You feel me? Like, I could get jiggy with that. You feel me? I definitely could get jiggy with that shit.
Yeah, because that's the part of his game that will take it to the next level because everybody afraid of him on the 3-point line. But if he start driving to the basket, cutting to the basket, getting layups, then he's a valuable guy, even though he's an average defender at best. You know what I'm saying? But
Make a
you know,
lot more
gotta keep
shots.
Caleb. Yeah, gotta keep Caleb Martin. Gotta keep Gabe Vincent too. I feel like he hasn't peaked yet. I feel like Gabe Vincent can get even better, you know. And he's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of the moment either, you know. Like he'll take shots. He'll take it to the hole. You know, he's always defending his ass off. You know, I think he's a better, even though he's smaller than Duncan Robinson. I think he's actually a better defender than him.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, man. I just last night was one of the greatest nights. We snatched the soul out of Boston. You know, it was just great. I'm glad we're not on the other side because, you know, Boston people. I know Boston people. They would have not let me hear the end of that. I think the great part about these finals, though, when we win, is the fact that they're an 8 seed, and no 8 seed. There's only I think 2 8 seeds that ever made it, right? And that other 8 seed was the Knicks, I think in '99. They lost. I think they got swept in the finals. So we came from being on the wrong side of history to be all of a sudden we're going to be on the positive side of history because what was going through in my head, Wes, was like, oh, so every time a team is in this situation, they're gonna refer to the Heat. Oh, the Heat are the only team to blow a 3-0 lead. You know what I'm saying? But now when they say, oh, when an 8 seed makes it to the the conference finals, they're gonna be like, oh, well, the only 8 seed to win it was the Miami Heat, and I can't wait till that happens, man. I can't wait till that happens. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a great day in Miami. A great day in just South Florida sports history. But we got to talk about the other team that been doing it big too, man. And that's the Florida Panthers, bro. Like, so the Florida Panthers, they weren't about that fucking reverse sweep shit. They were like, nah, we sweeping you right now. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Not playing.
We're putting you away.
We need a break.
Now, right. You know, and I think for that reason, I think they're gonna win the Stanley Cup. And I don't know how many times this has happened, or if it has happened at all. No, it has happened because I'm not sure if these two particular sports, but I know recently Tampa Bay, the Lightning won, and the Buccaneers won. But let's be honest, it's never happened in South Florida. So if we have
and the Tampa Bay baseball team.
Did they? I don't think they didn't win.
They didn't win?
Nah, they've never won a championship.
Oh, okay.
The Rays, they got close, but they never won. Nah, I will look it up, but yeah. So for this to happen, and for us to do it to Boston 2 times, let's not forget that the Boston Bruins was the top team in hockey. And we went in that same building. They play hockey and basketball in the same building, went in their house and beat them in game 7 to eliminate them. We did the same thing. 2 8 seeds beat Boston in game 7 in their own house. I don't think we're gonna be allowed in Boston, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Shit. My wife is from Boston, and you know me, I stay with Miami stuff all the time, especially when I'm out of town. When I'm out of town, I'm always got Heat stuff, Hurricane stuff, Dolphin stuff. They gonna hate me, bro. They gonna hate.
I'm happy right now. I'm happy that you won the bet because Rocky would have had a Boston collar, and I'm happy it's a Heat collar. You feel me?
Yeah, he's rocking that Heat collar all series. He never gave up hope, bro. He never gave up hope. So yeah, there's that too, man. Just to talk a little bit about this hockey team, though, man. First off, I gotta shout out the fucking goalie, man. Sergei Bobrovsky has been your boy, man. I call him Big Stop Bob. You know what I'm saying? Big Stop Bob comes through in the clutch, man. In that particular series against Boston, they could have ended our season.
Yep.
I mean, it was a breakaway. It was 1-on-1, final seconds in the game. Bob comes up with the stop. Then we win in overtime. We eliminate Boston. And just these games against Carolina, 1-0 in a hockey game is not very common. You know what I'm saying? And if you got a 1-0 game, that means your goalie was balling. And he just seeing the puck really well right now. And then all these other players are stepping up. Kachuk is doing his thing. That goal in the final seconds, bro. Like, I was like, damn, we about to go to another overtime. I think it would be the third one in that series if it did go. And then all of a sudden, in 4 seconds left, we scored a goal. You know what I'm saying? I know I woke up my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? I almost hit my head on the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? when that happened, it was just a great moment, and I was happy for them to do it at home too. I don't remember the last time they eliminated a team at home like that. It was just a great moment, another great moment for South Florida sports. First Stanley Cup final since 1996.
The year of the Rats.
And the year of the Rats. The Rats was out there after they won.
We got them from New York.
Well, you know, the story is that one of the players from that year killed the rat with a hockey stick. And that's when they went on the run. It was the year of the rat too, when it comes to Chinese New Year or year or whatnot. So, I mean, that's just another tradition that we got. And I just got to shout out the balls of this front office at the Panthers, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you had arguably the best player in hockey last year in Huberdeau. But you decided to trade him away, which I was mad. I was mad at first. I was like, how they gonna do that? You know, and they traded him, but they traded him for this guy, Kachuk, who ends up being one of the best hockey players, you know, in hockey this year.
Huberdeau chokes.
So, yeah, he does. And Barkov was starting to be like that too. But it
was rubbing off on him. That's why they get rid of Huberdeau bitch ass. You feel me? Straight up. Me, I was the same way when I heard Huberdeau had got like traded, and I was like, when I'm listening to it on 560, you know, they had whoever knows about hockey, not the actual jockey or the DJ, but the actual hockey analyst or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was speaking nothing but good stuff about the Kachuk. They was like, man, you stole basically. You stole right now. You got the best player right now for Huberdeau. And I'm like, damn, ain't Huberdeau good? And y'all saying this guy is better and he's younger. And then they start talking about his family, his dad and stuff like that. So when you know you got a history, it's a family tree where the family is good, that's who I want. And that's exactly who I want. I want somebody like Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah.
Kachuk is like Jimmy Buckets as far as with the bravado, as far as like, we're going to win the next game. We're going to do this. Yeah. We're going to do that. It's not we're going to try our best. Nah, he's telling y'all, man, we're going to come and steal your damn lunch money. What? Stop me. That's exactly what he's doing. Yeah. So, hey, what can you say? You know, I guess it take a little bit of that type of person to put a little fire under people's ass, like Bob. You feel me? Because, like I said, Bobrovsky, you know, I was hearing a lot of, you know, positive things about him when we first got him. And then, you know, like maybe the last 2 years, I've been hearing negative stuff. I'm like, hold up, man, ain't this nigga good? You feel me?
Right.
And nah, it took Kachuk to bring it back out of his ass, man. So, yeah, I do not mind, you know, seeing this stuff. Me, I mean, I was watching that game that it went to multiple overtimes. I fell asleep and I woke up and they did the damn thing. You feel me?
Yeah. Yo, I was slipping in and out of sleep for that game, but I saw the end of it. But you know what's crazy too? It's like Bobrovsky, right, was paid all this bread, kind of just like how Jimmy Butler was, you know, a couple years ago. And people was doubting Jimmy Butler too. You know what I'm saying? Even this year. You know, even this year, people was doubting Jimmy Butler if he could get it done again or whatnot. And then all of a sudden, when it came to playoff time for both of these players, they're like the best player in hockey and in basketball.
Yeah.
Like it's just like they just flipped the switch. I mean, Bobrovsky wasn't even starting; they was putting the backup in, and he started. I think the first 2 games of that Boston series, and then they put him in after that, and then he's been lights out ever since. Something just clicked for him, and he's just.
You don't want to go back to the G League of hockey.
Right. He just don't want to be on the bench again. I don't think he just want to get benched again by the young boy that they got in there. So, and he's creative too, man. Like as far as the way he saves his saves are just like unreal. He be saving it with his shoulder, which you hardly ever see that. You know, he does whatever he can for this team, and I think he's the reason why the Florida Panthers hoist the Stanley Cup for the first time for South Florida. I think
going to 2 parades.
Yeah, I was already thinking about it too. I think the parade likely is probably going to be right, you know, in my area over here, probably on Las Olas, probably to the beach, like how Tampa did it. You know, I feel like that makes the most sense. And then the Heat, you already know. I mean, this ain't our first rodeo. You know, this ain't our first rodeo at parades, man. I've been to everyone, and I will not miss that one either. You know, this time I think we need to have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Get there super early. You know, get a spot held down and whatnot.
Yes.
But yeah, task at hand. Let's take care of business first, and take care of business. The Panthers just found out who they're gonna play. They're gonna play Vegas, who just ended their series against Dallas. So. Vegas, they look like a pretty good team. I haven't really seen them play, but from the scores that I see against other teams, I'm like, okay, they handling business. But it should be a great series. The ticket prices I heard are just crazy for both of these things. Like I think the nosebleeds is going for 500.
Sorry,
600.
I'm not doing it. Sorry.
500, 600 for nosebleeds for both the NBA finals and the NHL.
That takes away. It takes away from me. You feel me? Because you want to be able to go to the game, spend a little bit of money on a game, and for it to be like $500-600, like you trying to pay that right now. Like I got bread and I ain't trying to pay that right now.
Yeah, exactly. I think is, you know, and then the games are, I like going to games, but at the same time, they kind of are restricted with the freedoms that you have at home, you know?
Exactly.
You know, like you can, you know, buy a case of beer or get a bottle and drink as much as you want, or you can go wherever you want. You don't have to wait in line for the bathroom. You don't have to wait in line for food, you know, like that type of stuff. You don't have to pay for parking. That type of stuff makes it inconvenient. And we in South Florida, that's the thing that people get twisted from outside of South Florida. They think we're not sports fans because we don't fill up the stadiums as much as other places. It's not true because you can tell by Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like Heat Twitter is serious. Hurricanes Twitter is serious. Like we're serious about our sports. Dolphins, we're serious about our teams. Now
it's a hard commute. People need to be in Miami to know what it is.
Everything's expensive, you know what I'm saying? It's not, and we're not the most populous city in the country as well. We're not the oldest as well. A lot of people from out of town, a lot of people not from this country don't even know these games. So you know, it's and these teams are fairly new too. It's not like nobody got a grandfather except for the Dolphins that was a fan of the team since they was a kid. You know what I'm saying? The Dolphins probably don't.
And not just that, but people got to understand, man, this is the type of fan base that you want. You don't want no fan base that let the owners do what they want. Don't invest in the team and year in, year out, y'all losing, and you expect people to go see that shit? Nah, Miami letting y'all know, if y'all ain't winning, we ain't showing up. If you're not investing in the team, we ain't coming. It is what it is. There's too much other shit that we can go ahead and do rather than waste our time and our money, you feel me, going to a game that you know you're gonna lose. You see what's happening with the Marlins. We barely go over there. And I went to a Marlins game, which is a great atmosphere, a baseball game, great atmosphere. You feel what I'm saying? Great experience. And I don't really even know baseball like that, but went over there. The Clevelander was still there, and this, that, and the other. So people got to understand, if you in Miami, if you one of these people that want to clown Miami fans, y'all got to understand, man, we got the beaches, the women, the weather, and not just that, but we got too much other shit that we can go and do. And if your team is not putting that money or investing in their money, bringing great talent to perform on whatever stage they're on, then we're not showing up. We're not going to be like Cleveland. We're not going to be like New York Knicks, you feel me, that make all the wrong decisions, hire the wrong coaches, hire the wrong players. We're not that. And it just shows what Nicky Harrison and right now what the Florida Black Panthers are doing right now to y'all. You feel me? They're not the Florida Panthers. They're the Florida Black Panthers. You feel me right now? I could just see them right now. They're looking like T'Challa right now when we're going to fight the dude in the end trying to destroy the world. Yeah, ain't no pressure. You feel me? Like, that's what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, just bask in the glow of what's going on in South Florida, though, Wes, because this don't happen often. This may not happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years. You know, the fact that you got every team this year has accomplished, in this calendar year, every major team has accomplished something pretty great. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Miami Hurricanes basketball team made it to the Final Four for the first time in school history. The women's basketball team made it to the Elite Eight for the first time in school history. FAU, it still blows my mind. FAU made it to the Final Four. FAU, they don't make it to the final nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they made it to the Final Four in basketball? Like, that's crazy. And then Nova Southeastern went undefeated, won the D2 championship. Now you got the Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers doing the unprecedented as 8 seeds, 2 8 seeds. Nobody's seen this coming, bro. Like, nobody's seen this coming. We are the biggest Miami fans. You know, you could know, but even we didn't see this coming. I will openly admit, I was doubting the Heat after that loss to Atlanta. After that loss to Atlanta, we were down the Heat. You referenced it earlier. We was like, we're not even going to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I barely watched the game against Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I'll openly admit that because my heart couldn't take it. I just felt like I was going to be too mad about the situation. And
I was still losing with 4 minutes left on the clock.
Right. So, like, it's just crazy to be in this situation right now. If we get the double championship, I wanted to ask you, which team would you rather win the championship?
The Heat. It's not even a question. The Heat, because one, the Heat always give us like a championship or something like that.
But that's why for me, I'm just like, they always get a championship.
And the Panthers is a smaller market when it comes to hockey. So yeah, they win, but how many people gonna show up to that parade compared to the Heat parade? The whole damn city gonna show up to that motherfucker. And again, if you want to add the Dolphins, I know we're speaking about the 8 seeds, but if the Dolphins won a championship, it'll supersede the Heat and the Panthers combined. But me personally, at this particular time, because they hate us and because we're at the same exact spot last year, because of the bravado that Jimmy Buckets was telling us that we're going to be here at this particular time, at this time this year, and we're going to win it. And he's doing everything that he said that he was going to, we were going to do. He's saying it. And that speaks volumes when you can. It's like Babe Ruth. When Babe Ruth used to point and say home run, and it's a home run, it's the same thing. Those stories right there, those are rare. Yeah. Those are rare stories.
That's a great point. That whole thing will live in history forever. You know what I'm saying? That will be kind of immortalized. You'll probably see those words like at the arena engraved somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If they are able to pull this off. The reason why I would say the Heat as well is because of Jimmy Butler. I want Jimmy Butler to win that ring, bro. I want him to win that ring so bad, you know? You know what I'm saying? I want him to win it, man. Like, just so he can be, you know, in this upper echelon, just forever cemented in the upper echelon of players, not only for the Heat, but in the NBA, because he will have that too. People will be like, oh, well, Jimmy Butler is the only player to take a team that was an 8 seed to a championship. You know what I'm saying? He will
Take a
have
G
that
League to
forever.
championship too. And take a G League to the championship. Only player to get kicked out by his mom and say you remind me of your dad and all these different things that he had to go through. I mean, I
Even
know
though
other
that's
people
really
go through stuff.
MJ's son. We all know that's really MJ's son.
Yeah, I ain't want to say it, but man, you feel me? I mean, so much that Pat Riley was about to unretire that damn jersey just so he could wear it. But
it's crazy because they actually play so alike too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan was a dog defensively, just like that. Always used to get steals. He had that mid-range, was always like wet. The only difference between Jordan and Butler is that one, Jordan, there's a lot of differences, but Jordan was more explosive to the rim at the beginning of his career. Like he was like dunking like crazy on people, you know.
Mhm.
And Jimmy doesn't really have that. He kind of had that in the beginning, but his game was very like not as good as it is now. So that's kind of the main difference. But as far as like, you know, he was sometimey with the 3-point shot, but it was really getting to the hole, getting fouled, getting layups, and the mid-range jump shot, which is basically Jimmy Butler, and the attitude too, bro. Like his mental, you know, his mental, like I'm gonna eat you alive for this win, you know, type of thing is very the same as Michael Jordan. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's his estranged son by any means.
Yeah, I mean, I seen a picture of them. They had both their pictures next to each other, like, you know, like half his Jimmy face, half his Jordan's face, and I'm like, God damn, they look alike. You feel me? Like they look. But I don't know, you know, and not just that, he was wearing them black shoes, whatever sneakers he had on. I ain't gonna lie. When I seen Jimmy Buckets with that jersey on, all black with the black shoes too, it reminded me of kind of like, you know, with Mike Tyson when he wearing the black trunks and the black kicks, you know, when he's in the ring. It kind of reminded me of that, and that's exactly why I like Jimmy Buckets, because one, the bravado that you're saying, you feel me? Two, you know, he don't care. He gonna tell you exactly how he feel, because people can have bravado, but then they're subconscious of how they speaking. Nah, he don't give a fuck. He gonna go tell you.
I mean, he was telling Spo. He was telling Spo how he felt, and they almost fought on the sideline. Remember?
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
He's not afraid. He's not afraid of anybody. I know Spo. What was rumored to be said, Spo was like, "What you gonna fight me?" And that's why they stood up or whatnot. You know. So yeah, he's not afraid to say anything to anybody. But he says all the right things in the press conference, man. He does. He says all the right things. He says, we don't care what you think. You know what I'm saying? And he says, this team is a really good team. We're going to win. We're going to right our wrongs. And, you know, job is not done after this. It was like, job is not done. We still got a lot to do, a lot to accomplish. He actually said, we have done nothing yet. That's what he said.
We haven't.
He said, we haven't done anything yet. I mean,
we haven't. Cause think about it. When we went in the bubble,
done the ultimate.
Now, cause think about it. When we went in the bubble, nobody's talking about the damn Heat went to the bubble and they were playing great. No, we lost. The Eastern Conference Finals last year, we lost. They're not talking about us. They're talking about Golden State. How Steph got his 4th ring or his 5th ring. They're not talking about the Heat. When you lose, people forget all the good shit that you did. So right now we need to complete this thing real quick so people can't forget, because they already want to forget us. You know why they don't like us. We got to make sure that there's no reason why I can't talk about us, because look, we beat them and we beat Boston yesterday, and who they talking about? Oh, Boston collapsed. Talk about Miami. Stop talking about Boston. Y'all all talking about same thing like with Denver. When Denver head coach said, we just beat LeBron, eliminated his bitch ass, and who y'all talking about? LeBron. Like, come on, man. Like, so again, at the end of the day, everybody in Miami know they hate us because of the beaches, the women, and the weather. I'm not going to not say that. Again, the beaches, the women, and the weather. And this is another reason. So, y'all niggas need to go ahead and just finish this shit off. Finish it off so I could talk shit, so I could win some more money. Marcus could win more money. Because, again, when they win the championship, we could talk shit until the season starts and ends.
Year.
All
year. Whole year, bro. We're going to be talking shit, man. So, a couple other things I wanted to mention is that, like, so I obviously wanted to watch to see like what they were saying, like what you gonna say now, and I knew they were gonna be like, especially Stephen A, bro. Like I hate Stephen A now. Like, I mean, I always kind of hated. I used to like him at first because he's black and he has a good story of how he came up, a journalist, right? He started in radio and he just kind of built his way up. And he used to be like more serious with his takes, you know. He was like kind of no nonsense. He was like, this is what I think is gonna happen, this is what didn't happen, you know, that type of thing. But now it's like the fame has got to him once, and then he's just delusional. And the fact that you're a Knicks fan, you're open about that, pisses me off as well. And what does he say today that pissed me off? They asked the question, so what has been more impressive of a run this year, the Denver Nuggets or the Miami Heat? You know, this motherfucker said the Denver Nuggets, and JJ Redick, and it wasn't Perk. It was the other guy who he played for LSU. He's a football player. He played for LSU.
Oh, I know you're talking about. The one that got it with Channing Crowder.
DeMarcus Spears. Is his name. They both looked at him like he had 5 heads. Like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like,
I hated that much.
The Heat were at 8 seed. We lost one of our top scorers in the first game. We lost the first play-in game. We were down in the second play-in game. We beat the number 1 seed in 5 games. We nearly swept the number 2 seed if it wasn't for just 1 quarter. And y'all stayed saying like, oh, we got a bunch of undrafted players, we're not as talented, these teams are better teams, yet we still win, and that's not impressive. Denver was the number 1 seed all year. They supposed to be there. They supposed to be in the finals. You gonna tell me that's impressive? Nah, that's not impressive. That's what's supposed to happen. You know, you the number 1 seed. What we did, people gonna remember. People gonna remember for years. Even if, you know, knock on wood, we don't win, they still gonna remember this run. They still gonna remember that this was an 8 seed, that Jimmy Butler brought this team with a bunch of people that nobody outside of Miami knows to the finals. People gonna remember that. People gonna forget about Denver. They're gonna be like, oh, who they played? Oh, we don't remember. We just know that the Heat won that year, you know? So yeah, I just want to talk about that. And then I don't know if you know who Nick Wright is. He's also on Fox. He there with Chris Broussard. He was on the Heat. Before the series started, he picked the Heat. He was like one of the only people to pick the Heat, besides our girl, Joy. You know, Joy always.
Joy Taylor.
Joy Loyal, man. And I started watching right before we came on. You know, she was talking a lot of shit. She was like, put the narrative of the Heat can't do it to bed, because the Heat are a championship franchise. That's what she started off saying. So you already know she going off. But Nick Harris was a guy who said that the Heat would win this series against Boston. Okay. And I was a little surprised at it. Everybody else was as well, who's like around him, like Chris Broussard and the other white dude. But when he broke it down, and remember I was saying, like, I want to play Boston. Remember when we was on this podcast before? Yeah. And I was like, I want to play Boston because they look shook. You know what I'm saying? They don't look like they really about that. And I was about to prove myself right, because we was about to sweep them, you know? But then they came back and won some games. So I guess that theory is out the window. But still, they didn't have that dog in them. And people like us seen it, Nick Wright seen it, and Joy seen it, but everybody else hates the Heat.
It's all good.
Everybody else hates the Heat, and I just want to see. It's weird as fuck because this is a classic American story. Like they could do a movie on this. They could do a 30 for 30 on this. You know what
They're
I'm saying?
gonna do a 30 for 30 after the Panthers and the Heat and the Kings.
Exactly.
They're going
exactly.
to
23 is the year. But now, Wes, now that I don't know, we can still keep talking about the Heat and the Panthers. But first of all, I want to say shout out to Miami baseball. They're gonna be in the tournament. So now they're the next team up right now. You know what I'm saying? To prove, who they are. And by the way, what did they do last weekend? They beat the number one team in baseball, the number one team in college baseball. So it's now it's trickling to college baseball. The number one team in baseball, they beat them soundly too, 7-2. So they going into the NCAA tournament this weekend. We'll see what happens. Maybe they're the next team that we're gonna be talking about, like that's going to the World Series, maybe winning a championship. But what really matters, Wes, and you know this, I'm here with my Heat hat. You there with your Heat jersey, Heat background. You know what I'm saying? We representing the Panthers, we representing the Hurricanes, of course, all sports, but we know what really matters, though, right, Wes? Yep. I seen a meme today that was like a bunch of I think it was like Houston, but they were looking at the camera like there was a bunch of them like looking like that, right? And the caption was Miami looking at the Hurricanes and Dolphins to see what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because we got all this success, right? We got all this success right now. Panthers, Heat, Hurricanes. But what matters most to us is the Canes and the Dolphins, bro. Like that's what matters most to us. And shout out to the Dolphins. They did win. They did go to their first playoff game since 2016 this year. So that kind of counts with the success. And the Hurricanes football team had a top 10 recruiting class. First time in a while. So that kind of counts in this year of 2023 success. But and to be honest, we don't really talk about the Marlins, and the Marlins are like, whatever, man. Like the Marlins are just there, bro. Like if you do anything, if you make the playoffs, we'll be happy. But we don't really
expect anything right now.
Yeah, we don't expect nothing from the Marlins. The Canes baseball team, they won championships, man. They've won championships like the Hurricanes won championships. They got 4 national championships, and they always in the tournament. So that's more of expected. Marlins, even though they got 2 championships, no one really expects anything from the Marlins. But people want the Hurricanes and Dolphins to succeed more than all of them.
Yes.
All of them, Wes, and that's a fact.
Yes.
Does this put pressure on them boys, man? Because they see it, they see it's happening. The Twitters are congratulating each other. It's like a big Miami sports family going on right now with all the sports because everybody's congratulating each other, encouraging each other. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna happen once football season rolls around. This year in itself is probably the greatest Miami sports year right now. But
to be honest with you,
will it continue?
I think it'll continue. I don't, because the expectations for the Dolphins right now, they just want to see Tua be healthy. To be honest with you, they want to see what he was doing last year when he was healthy. This year, if he could do that, it don't matter if they. I know they want to play. They made the playoffs. They want to win a playoff game. If they win a playoff game, it doesn't matter. Of course, if they win a championship, I'm going crazy. You feel me? Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers parade combined can't do the same thing that was going to draw Miami. You're going to have people coming from out of town just to be at that damn parade. You feel me? Because they've been suffering they've been suffering throughout all these years. But again, I mean, I think it'll put a little pressure, but it'll put positive pressure because I remember when it was the what's that baseball team, Boston. You got the Red Sox would win, then the hockey team won, and then you had the damn Patriots cheated and won as well. So if we could do the same thing over here and have like, damn, the Panthers win hockey, the Heat win basketball, and the Dolphins or the Canes or both, do great. Because again, me and you, we know. I mean, the Canes we're building right now. I know about the recruits. You dare, you feel me? But again, we're still building right now. We said this last year. It's gonna be like 2-3 years before we really get the Canes that we really expect, which is looking like it's going there. You got these transfers, D linemen and stuff like going over there. That's another topic. But again, we don't expect that much from them. When it comes to the Dolphins, again, like I say, their whole thing is did we get the right quarterback when it comes to the franchise quarterback? If he can stay healthy, which I think so, because I seen his ass. Tua looking a little hefty right there, boy. And it don't look like fat. It look like nothing but muscle. His thighs is bigger, legs bigger, arm, neck, everything is bigger. Hey, let's see how that go. But again, I don't think the expectations are that high for them. Huh?
I guess the question would be, like, what would be a successful season for both of those teams? Because right now it's championship or bust for the Panthers and the Heat, given where they are right now. The Hurricanes making to the Final Four, to me, that's a successful season. First time you did it ever in your history. Women's basketball team the same, FAU the same, Nova the same. I feel like those are all successful seasons. Canes baseball, I think, to make it to the World Series would be a success.
Okay.
At least, because you could just add that. It just sounds good, Also, Canes made it to the World Series. It just sounds good to just, at least if they make it that far, which is the final 8, by the way, just so you know.
Okay.
But for the Hurricanes, what would you say? What do they need to do to be in that paragraph or that group?
Me personally, like this upcoming year, because last year it was a horrible year. If they could go at least like 9 wins, maybe 10 wins, that's a success for me, because I didn't expect us to be that type of team yet. Yeah, I know we're getting the talent, but the wins and the talent is different. You know what I'm saying? We may have talent, but we don't have depth. You feel me? So for me, what the Canes 9 wins would be good with me. But if you give me 10, then I know more recruits gonna be coming, and that 10 may generate into 11 and so on and so on. When it comes to the Dolphins, winning the playoff game, it would be a success. Not making the playoffs, winning a playoff game. Why? Because we haven't been in. We go every time we go to the we bet on the Dolphins. They don't make playoffs. We always lose because the Patriots find a way to not have us in the playoffs, or the Jets that 1 year final game, and we still can't do our thing. So if we could, and we finally showed that we're close. We're close last year. We almost beat Buffalo. Buffalo was supposed to be the team that supposedly was supposed to win the Super Bowl and have all this, talent and this, that, and the other. And we almost beat them with a fucking 3rd string quarterback. So for me, I'm like, if we have Tua there, that's a win. So that's all I want. I just want a playoff win. Now, if you give me more, same thing like the Canes, you give me 10, what you want. But for me, winning a playoff game will be what my barometer for them.
I would agree with you if we didn't have all this success right now with all these teams. Like, with all this success right now that we haven't, I feel like it's got to be more than that. I feel like, to be honest, I'd be happy with a 9-win season from the Hurricanes as well. That's actually what I expect from them. Like 8 to 9.
Great minds thinking.
But if they win the ACC championship, to me, that would be equivalent to what's going on with these other teams. You know what I mean? Because what these other teams are doing is something that you'll never forget. I'll never forget the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I was there, but I'll never forget their run to the Final Four and just what they had to overcome. Even the women's team, I'll never forget them beating that number one team on that team's floor. Girls shushing the crowd. Those images I'll never forget. And then now with the Heat, because that's the same year. And now with the Heat, I'll never forget this run. The Panthers making it to the Stanley Cup, first time in 96. Of course, I'll never forget that. The Canes baseball team, I think they have to win. I think they have to get close to winning the championship for me to never forget it. Because they make the College World Series, I would say 1 every 5 years they're making the College World Series. The Hurricanes, I think they got to win the ACC for it to be a memorable, like how it's memorable for all these other teams. Be like, damn, that was that year that we did this, you know what I'm saying? Or if we win a major bowl game, you know what I'm saying? Like if we win like the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, or the Sugar Bowl, you know what I'm saying? And be like, oh, that's the year that we won the Sugar Bowl and we beat, I don't know, Alabama in the Super Bowl, in the Sugar Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that has to happen. If they win 8-9 wins, I'll be happy, but it's not going to be memorable of what's going on with everybody else. The Dolphins have a special place in my heart, man. They do, man, because it's like any little good thing that they do, I'm just so happy for, It's like anything they do. So if they win the playoff game, I think if they make it to the AFC Championship game, that would be equivalent for me as what's going on with these other teams. If they win a playoff game, it's almost like it's one step above last year.
What about if they win the playoff game? What about they win the playoff game, but your dream come true? Tua takes a good hit, and he gets up like it ain't nothing. He been doing this all season, man. Y'all motherfuckers saying I can't stay healthy. Marcus see him getting hit here and there, and he gets up and he shakes it off like it's nothing. That would be your real success, because then you'll be like, man, we got our quarterback. He can stay healthy. You don't need to be like, oh, he can't throw the deep ball, because he was one of those guys, but then he showed you and everybody else. Marcus doesn't seem to like guys already. We know that he could throw the ball deep. We know that he's accurate. He's the most accurate quarterback in NCAA history, or efficient market, that is. You feel me? So if he can stay healthy, that would be Marcus' success. I know you're saying the AFC Championship game, but if it's Tua healthy and every game we're in, maybe let me take that back. Let me don't give it to you. If Tua's healthy and we could be in every game, and the chirping and the birds are not being able to say that he's not injury prone no more, and we could just dead that would be my success, because then I know we have a quarterback for years to come. Oh shit, years to come to actually. Hold on, I can get something. All right, years to come to actually do good and possibly have us make playoffs multiple times rather than just 1 year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pressure's on, man. I love it though. I love that this is the standard. This is the standard for South Florida sports. I mean, I already will never forget 2023. 2023 is a special year for our dog on this podcast, Chris. Obviously, it's a special year for him. Our guy tied the knot and brought in a legacy into this world. So 23 is already, it's Jordan's number, bro. 23. You know what I'm saying? Greatest of all time. Hopefully there's more things on the horizon for our Miami teams.
Yo, you already know 2023. It's a big year.
Yeah.
Your screen is off. I don't know if you want that to be off on purpose.
Oh yeah, no, I'm over here handling and cleaning.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because you got the little one. I'm like, you want to make sure you have that privacy still when you're on live. But
I was telling Shan, yeah, man, if the Heat they go all the way, this is the greatest year for me ever.
Definitely, man. Married, baby, championship. Well, that will definitely be what it is, man. Because like again, like Marcus said, it's already memorable for me. I'm not going. It's Saturday when we lost. I remember Saturday lost more so than the victory because I couldn't sleep. That was how I was feeling when they put the tape around the court when everybody thought the Spurs had ended us. It was a certain feeling that I had that I will never forget. I got that same feeling on Saturday, and yeah, we won yesterday, but it wouldn't be the same thing if we win the championship. Now we get the championship, then I think I'll remember that one forever.
yeah, man. I'm so glad we won Game 7, bro. I'm so glad we won Game 7 because
look at the love.
Yo.
And she's not crying, so that's perfect. Good father.
Yeah, you already know.
Gotta just like, yeah, man, yeah, daddy, yeah.
Look at you. Hold that head, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's like this.
But yeah, man, congratulations again.
Congrats, my guy.
For sure.
Like, that's definitely a blessing, man. I go through it every day with a kill now, crawling on me now, so it's all good. But yeah, man.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, not right now. You know, I'm still kind of in awe with what's going on right now. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, we got all these other things. Of course, we got the Canes and stuff like that. But we could always talk about that a different time because, again, no games has started. We have people going on campus. I know you're going ahead and tweeting or posting, and y'all can go ahead and follow all that on CanesCounty.com. You know, if you want exclusive stuff about the Canes on a daily or every other day, you could go ahead and follow them on CanesCounty.com. Of course, you're gonna follow us, the MarcWes Sports Podcast, and we're on all platforms, both Canes County and MarcWes Sports Podcast. We're on all platforms. Definitely go ahead and check us out. Subscribe, like, share. Do all that thing for your boys, you feel me? Because the girls is gonna be out when the heat come out. You feel me? They're gonna be out. And you remember, I used to call Tua on Willie Beeman. It's Jimmy Beeman. You feel me? Because he even got Shakira wanting a little bit of that fur from my dog. But we ain't gonna go into that no more. We feel we gonna hold it down. And this will conclude this episode of the MarcWes Sport Podcast. Until the next episode.
Until the next episode, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Heat, baby. Let's go, Panthers. Let's go.
You feel me? I kid.